If you're thinking about starting to look for a home, then it is time to select the partners that you're going to work with for that purchase. As most know, selecting a realtor that you can trust, that's going to work hard on your behalf, is an important consideration. However, another partner that you should think about is the lender that you're going to work with. Hi, this is Christine Atkinson with Columbine Mortgage, and this is your July timely topic where we will talk about how you choose a lender and the impact that that can have on not only the rate that you get, the closing costs that you end up paying, but the overall experience and trust that you feel in making it to the closing table on time. Let's first start with a few of the red flags that we see when we're looking at lenders and the different options out there. One of these is looking at a rate that doesn't disclose any of the closing costs. So if you're looking online or wherever, frankly, and you see a really low rate, that's great, but it's also important to understand what the costs associated with that rate are. All lenders can pretty much offer you any rate you want, it's just at what price. So it's really important to have a lender that is being completely transparent with all of the costs of the purchase so that you know what you are getting before you start down the path. The next thing to consider is whether you are looking at a quote that is what we call a unicorn quote. So it's based on perhaps credit scores, down payment, etc., that don't really align with what your plan or background is. Oftentimes we do see advertised quotes that are like FHA 15 years that, yes, do have a really low rate, but no one ever does because of both the term and the costs associated with those types of loans. So just making sure you're looking at things apples to apples can be really important. The next thing is oftentimes there will be advertisements around getting something free. So not paying closing costs, free refinances, anything the lender is paying for. Unfortunately, there's not much in this world that is truly for free, and that these sort of things are trade-offs with the actual interest rate. That's great. It might be the right option, but you really want a lender that's going to provide you with different options. So one with no closing costs, one with a lower rate, different buy down scenarios, potentially recasting the loan, where you really want to find a loan that fits what your needs are. Another thing that happens is your ability to get a pre-approval with just submitting some general information online. Well, that sounds fast and effective. It can be super scary if you don't have a person who understands underwriting guidelines and is truly evaluating what you're providing. It is way better to catch any sort of hiccups in the loan up front so you know how to deal with them before you are under contract. So you want a lender that is thorough, is doing a full app, collecting all those docs, having you pull credit so there are no surprises later in the process. And then the last thing is just communication. If you're having a hard time reaching the lender when you're in the beginning stages in qualifying, just imagine when you're trying to reach them on a weekend when you're making an offer or when you're under contract and you're dealing with contractual deadlines. Overall, the lender that you select can really make the difference between a great experience purchasing a home and a super stressful one. I'd love to talk to you more about it. I'd love the opportunity to work with you. Please don't hesitate to reach out. I'm happy to answer any questions that you have.